this video, we are going to solve one of the most frustrating challenges in Power BI: how to display a trend chart showing the last 12 months dynamically based on a date selected by the user. Often, this is a high difficult task, because when a user interacts with the standard date slicer, Power BI just filters the entire report context to that specific static selection, preventing our chart from showing historical data backward. Today, we will learn how to overcome this using a smart auxiliary table and an advanced cross-filtering measure. You have probably faced this. A user filters just like May 2026 on the page and expects a bar chart showing the trend of the previous 12 months. Due to the default behavior of the relational model, once May is selected, all prior dates are immediately wiped out of their context. Attempting to use traditional time intelligence like index function like dating period or between often fails when page level filters are highly restricted. To resolve this at its core, we need to trick the model by creating an expanded date mapping table, also known as a phasing table on our case. The secret to this workaround lies in our calculated table. This table is not a standard calendar. What it does is take every single date from our calendar table and treat it as a reference date, which we will call X. By using the generate function and a dynamic filter with eDate for each reference date, the table calculates and maps a list of dates covering the preceding 12 months in the dates column. In other words, when a date is selected in the report, this table knows exactly which historical date corresponds to it behind the scenes. We also pre-calculate columns like month, year, and text label to format our chart axis. With our bridge table ready, we write the measure that breaks through Power BI default filtering behavior. Let's look at the logic. First, we capture the user selected report dates in a variable using like last date. We call it last date. Second, we query our phasing table to retrieve only the subset of dates where our reference columns match that select report date. Finally, the magic happens. We use SumX combined with all on the main calendar, but pay close attention to this specific line in the formula. We multiply by date in date. Why are we doing this? Index checking if the calendar date is between our dynamic range, return true or false. By multiplying it, Power BI implicitly converts the true into a 1 and the false into a 0. This ensures that historical values do not aggregate our duplicate incorrectly on each bar. Dates inside our 12 months windows gets multiplied by 1, keeping their unique value, while dates outside get multiplied by 0, instantly wiping them out. This is an advanced performance optimization trick that avoids using heavy if statement inside our integration. To make the chart come to life beautifully, for the x-axis of our visual, we do not use the dates field from our standard calendar dimension. Instead, we drag, for example, in our case, the month year or month name column directly, or also the date directly our new phasing table. Place our newly created measure into the value fields, and there you go. Now, whenever the user changes the slicer to any month, the charts dynamically compute and display the exact trend of the 12 months leading up to that date, keeping everything else in the report perfectly synchronized. Using phasing auxiliary tables is an incredibly powerful technique that gives us a total design flexibility in Power BI without hurting the model, performance, or relationship integrity. I hope this practical workaround helps you build better trend analysis charts. If you enjoyed this video, please just like and subscribe. See you on next video. Bye bye.